Joining us now is Teddy Schleifer, New York Times reporter and MSNBC contributor, and NBC News business and data correspondent Brian Chung. So, Teddy, Elon Musk says he'll only spend a day or two a week on Washington matters, but to regular Americans, Elon Musk is Doge. What do you make of this and what it tells us about Musk's attention or priorities?
Yeah, it shouldn't be terribly surprising, if you know Elon Musk, he is somebody who is frantically involved in a task and gives it his all and then gets bored pretty quickly. Musk would say that he was in Washington because there was an emergency, just like there was an emergency kind of with Tesla during sort of its production hell days or during times of SpaceX. Musk gives it his all, and then once he solved the emergency or not, he moves on. So that's what's going on here. I don't think it should be terribly surprising to anybody that Elon was not going to be, inside the Trump White House 365 days a year for all 4 years. I did think that, announcing this preemptively on an earnings call was an interesting venue to make this announcement. He was not asked this. He volunteered it. He volunteered it to Tesla investors who were out there wondering, why is our company not doing so hot? And Musk was sending a message not just to Trump's Washington, but to shareholders in a company where he is the CEO.
Even though it might have been predictable, Teddy, it does raise the question, where does this leave Doge? I mean, you heard him say he wants to be sure that the waste and fraud they stopped doesn't come roaring back. But how much did they really find? And do you expect that work to continue in any significant way?
Yeah, I think what Elon has going for him is that he has spent the last, 4 or 5 months really putting a ton of people in positions of power who are going to stay. So that's the argument that you can make that, well, even if Elon himself is not here, can like the Elon friends and family, so to speak, keep Doge's work alive. Counter argument to that, Chris, I mean, is Elon Musk is a force of nature. If he's not there in that cabinet meeting, like he doesn't get like a assigned seat. He can put someone else in there, right? I mean, as the cabinet meeting is on the screen right now, if he's not there, who's going to be there pushing the Doge agenda? And that's the bearish argument on this, is that there's no one like him, and if he's not there, you could argue that Doge would suffer.
Yeah, no one like him, Brian, and Tesla stock has been struggling. What else is going on with that company?
Yeah, well, it seems like the news that Elon will be reshifting his focus back to his car company is leading to some enthusiasm among investors, with the stock up almost 8% today. Although I want to point out, year to date, the stock is still down 36%, which is worse than an overall market that's already had a very turbulent 2025. But what we heard from the company was interesting on two fronts. First, they warned about the impact of tariffs, again, from the president, who Elon Musk is advising. Elon apparently telling investors he tried to tell the president that he favored lower tariffs. But nonetheless, those hefty tariffs do weigh on automakers, not just Tesla, across the board, with the threat of those 25% higher costs to bring anything into the United States. But then the other side of the coin is what Tesla described as changing political sentiment. That is a uniquely Tesla issue that does hint at acknowledging the recent vandalism of Tesla vehicles, Tesla dealerships, Tesla charging stations, in addition to those protests that have been popping up around the country. Tesla is now more associated with a political image than it was prior to Elon's work with the company. These are two headwinds that he's going to have to navigate as he returns to the company. Yes, he has these visions of these robo-taxis and maybe even a cheaper Tesla model option. However, these are definitely big issues that he's going to face with this stock so heavily battered going into what is going to be his return back to the company.